Hello all and welcome aboard. Today marks an exciting milestone in your Pathfinder 2nd Edition career, your first day as a psychic. Perhaps you've dreamed of bending reality with nothing more than your own thoughts, vanquishing your enemies through sheer willpower, or casting spells without uttering a single word. Well, congratulations! You are exactly where you need to be because the Psychic is the class designed for adventurers just like you. But before we dive headfirst into your first day on the job, it's important to remember, Psychics do not operate like your average spellcaster. Forget about managing spell slots, no. Instead, you'll be focusing on amping up your cantrips, entering exhilarating states of heightened prowess with Unleashed Psyche, and managing your magical resources with efficiency that would make even the most seasoned adventurers take notice. In this orientation video, we will guide you step by step through everything you need to know to be successful on your first day as a psychic. We'll cover how your powers function, what makes you stand out from other classes, and even some helpful tips to avoid the most common beginner mistakes. Because here at Time to Dice, we like our adventurers prepared. So take a deep breath, clear your mind, and focus those thoughts. And remember, a focused mind is a productive mind. Now that you've officially joined the Psychic team, let's take a closer look at the core features that make this position so rewarding. At Time to Dice, we believe that success begins with mindset, and for psychics, that's literal. Every psychic is built around two key choices, your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Let's start with your conscious mind. This represents the form your psychic abilities take. For instance, tangible dream psychics focus on shaping thoughts into reality, transforming idle thought into powerful battlefield control. Meanwhile, silent whisper psychics focus on all things telepathic, from subtle influence to full-scale domination. Next, we have your subconscious mind. This determines how you channel that power on a personal level. You may be an emotional acceptance psychic, channeling passion and raw feeling into your work, or perhaps a precise discipline psychic, approaching each challenge with cool, calculated focus. Remember, there's no wrong answer, just the mindset that's right for you. This choice will determine whether or not you use charisma or intelligence when calculating your spell DCs, with emotional acceptance and wandering reverie using charisma, and gathered lore and precise discipline relying on intelligence instead. Together, these two choices form the foundation of your identity as a psychic. They form the basis of everything, from your abilities to your role on the battlefield. So understanding these is your first big step towards success in the psychic class. Once you've made your selections, everything else from your amped cantrips to your Unleashed Psyche abilities will build naturally from that foundation. Now that you've got your subclass sorted out, let's move on to the real heart of the psychic experience, the AMP system. At first glance, you might think the psychic is just another occult spellcaster with fewer spell slots. But surprise, it's not. The psychic operates on a whole different wavelength. Instead of depending solely on limited spell slots, psychics rely primarily on their ability to supercharge their cantrips, using something we like to call amps. So, how does it work? Great question! Every psychic can amp certain cantrips to create stronger, more dramatic effects. When you amp a cantrip, you spend just one focus point to boost its performance. Maybe it hits multiple enemies, deals extra damage, or maybe even adds an entirely new effect to your cantrip that really make your coworkers, party members, take notice. Each conscious mind comes equipped with 3 cantrips that can be amped right from the start. 2 of those cantrips are available to everyone who can cast them, but only you have access to their special amped versions. The 3rd cantrip is a psychic exclusive, available only through your conscious mind, and it too can be amped for even more powerful results. Amps are remarkably efficient. You're trading one focus point, something you can easily recover, for a spell effect that can rival even your strongest spell slots. That's what we call psychic productivity. And because you can regain focus points by just taking 10 minutes to refocus, your resources stretch much further than other casters, even though you technically have fewer spell slots. And don't forget, cantrips scale as you level up. That means your amped options stay fresh and effective all the way up from level 1 to level 20. You'll be using them constantly, so learning when to amp and when to hold back is a key part of your daily workflow as a psychic. To put it simply, amps are your bread and butter. If you're playing a psychic and you're not amping your cantrips regularly, well, you might be better off switching for another spontaneous occult caster, like sorcerer or a bard. Alright, so we've covered amps, your reliable, everyday source of boosted psychic performance. But what about when you really want to go above and beyond expectations? That's where your class's second signature feature comes in, Unleashed Psyche. Here's how it works. You can trigger Unleash Psyche as a free action at the start of any turn in which you cast the spell the last round, as long as you're not currently stupefied. Once you flip that mental switch, you'll enter a special heightened state for 2 rounds. During that time, you'll receive powerful bonuses that depend on your conscious mind. Every psychic benefits from extra spell damage equal to double the spell's rank. That's right, double. But it doesn't stop there. Your subconscious mind also grants you a unique one-action ability that can only be used when your psyche is unleashed. For example, emotional acceptance psychics get Restore the Mind, allowing them to pass out hit points to their injured allies or grant them a bonus to their saving throws against mental effects, while Gathered Lore psychics Recall the Teachings ability lets them aid all their allies with occultism check. For those 2 rounds, your power stacks drastically. This is your big moment. This is the time to cast your strongest spells and do everything you can to turn the tide of a tough battle and really show the team what you're capable of. But remember, with great power comes a brief union-mandated cooldown period. When your psyche becomes released, you can't unleash it again for 2 rounds, and you'll also become stupefied 1 for that time. That means your spell DCs drop, and your spells you do cast must make a DC 6 flat check to work at all. So plan ahead. Don't unleash too early and risk spending the climax of the encounter heavily weakened, or unleash it too late when it's too late to turn the tides. Timing is everything. By managing your timing and resources wisely, you'll keep your psychic performance at peak efficiency. Now that we've mastered the fundamentals of psychic power, let's talk about something near and dear to every successful caster's heart: resource management. Here at Time to Dice, we know how stressful it can be to run out of spells halfway through a long adventuring day. Fortunately, as a psychic, you'll never have to worry about that again. While most spellcasters are constantly checking their magical budget over the entire day, psychics focus on managing a much simpler system: encounter management. Your main attacks come from cantrips, and cantrips are an infinite resource. You can cast them all day, every day, without ever running dry. And when you really need to make an impact, you can amp those same cantrips using focus points to deliver powerful, memorable results. Even if you slip up and expend all your focus points too early, don't worry. You're never more than a quick 30-minute refocus break away from being back at full psychic capacity. That's right. With just half an hour of in-game time, you can go from an empty tank to a full charge. Now that's efficiency. Even the best new psychics make mistakes. But here at Time to Dice, we believe that every error is just an opportunity for growth. So let's take a look at the 5 most common psychic pitfalls and how you can steer clear of them to keep your mind and your party performing at maximum efficiency. Mistake number 1: forgetting to amp your cantrips. Amps are the psychic's primary tool, so forgetting to amp your cantrips is like showing up to work without your toolkit. Technically, you could still get things done, but your job becomes a lot harder. Always be on the lookout for opportunities to use focus points during combat. Remember, an unamped cantrip is an underperforming cantrip. Mistake number 2: unleashing your psyche too early. Unleashing your psyche is a powerful experience, but many new psychics are a little too eager to use it at every opportunity. If you don't think the extra damage or access to psyche action will swing the combat within 2 rounds, it's probably not worth risking the stupefied condition in the first place. At Time to Dice, we recommend unleashing responsibly and intentionally to maximize the impact you'll have on the battlefield. Mistake number 3: ignoring the stupefied condition. After you release your psyche, your mind needs recovery time, and during that time, you'll be stupefied. Many new psychics forget this, leading to unfortunate productivity dips. Remember, being stupefied isn't a death sentence, but it will make your job much harder. Take a round or 2 to focus on abilities that don't use your resources, like cantrips or skill actions. That way, even if you do fail or lose the action, you are no worse for it. Mistake number 4: not refocusing between encounters. Your focus points don't regenerate themselves. New psychics often rush from fight to fight without taking their mandatory 10-minute refocus breaks. That's like skipping your lunch hour. You can do it, but you'll regret it later. So, between combats, find a quiet spot, take a few deep breaths, and refocus. It's good for your mana and your mental health. And finally, mistake number 5: forgetting about your spell slots. It's true, psychics are famous for their endless cantrips and efficient amps, but that doesn't mean you should ignore your regular spells entirely. Those rank spell slots aren't just decorative. They're your secret stash of utility when things get weird. Unlike the spells you get from your conscious mind, these spell slots don't have to be completely on theme. So feel free to branch out and pick up some weird options like invisibility or command. These options may not come up every session, but when they do, they can completely change the flow of the encounter or open up brand new ways to solve problems. Today we've covered all key concepts for psychic success, from understanding your conscious and subconscious minds, to mastering amped cantrips, learning when to unleash your psyche, and maintaining steady mental momentum in a workplace, or in this case, the battlefield. With these fundamentals under your belt, you're now fully prepared to start bending reality with nothing but the power of thought. Remember, confidence, consistency, and concentration are the cornerstones of a productive psychic. If this orientation helped you feel more comfortable with your new position, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment letting us know what you'd like to see us train on next. And be sure to like, subscribe, and share this presentation with a psychic in your adventuring party. After all, teamwork makes the dream work. Thank you for your time, your focus, and your commitment to role-playing excellence. And as always, remember, keep rolling high, and we'll catch you in the next one. This concludes Pathfinder Training Module Psychic Day 1.